Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tosin, for those that are new here. And in today's video, as you can have seen from the title, I'm going to be talking about friendships, and I'm going to be talking about a couple of ways in which why your friends think that you're a hater, or why you might come off as a hater to your friends. I know this topic is very interesting. I love to talk about friendships, and I think they're so relatable. It's easy, it's just bands, and I absolutely love it because I feel like even with those bands we can actually learn and improve and do better. So if you'd like to know more, definitely keep watching. Okay, initially I was going to make this video as a reel, but I thought to myself, you know what, let me make it as a YouTube video instead, not a reel, because I feel like it will be too long for a reel. So hater, I know the word hater is such a very strong word, and no one likes to be called a hater. Is it a hater? Is a hater? Yeah, no one likes to be called a hater. It's not nice. If someone tell me, oh, just you're just a hater, it will rub me off the wrong way, because I know that I don't want to be seen as that, and I don't think I am. But these are some of the reasons that I found in just with my friends or generally about life, that people that love their friends but might come off as a hater, the things that they do. So as I'm making this video, I don't want you to start thinking that this reminds me of Jessica. This is exactly how Jessica's. I'm saying Jessica because I don't have any Jessica as a close friend. So, this reminds me of Jessica. Or you start, put yourself in the shoes of the person and see and self-reflect if you do these things. And if you do, perhaps you repent from them. So the first thing is, you never give compliments. I know. You never give compliments. There are people that, if you like, be looking like, you know how they say when they saw the face of Stephen in the Bible, like it was so radiant, like the face of an angel. They all come out wherever, they're just looking at you like this. They will not say a word. They never give compliments. If you like, wear the most flattering outfits. They can never say, oh my God, you look so beautiful, Tolani. Or wow, Sister T, you look... They'll just be looking at you like... They'll be admiring what you're wearing with one eye, but they will not tell you. So maybe that's one of the first things. You never give compliments. I was talking to one of my very dear friends. Her name is Wumi, a long time ago. And she said something to me that really, really, stood out to me in my mind. And it's something that I've actually thought about. She said that she had to train herself. That anytime she thinks something in her mind, she trained herself to start to say those things. So it's not just enough to just say, oh, I like that jacket. You say it out. That jacket is beautiful. Wow, you look stunning. Someone like me, I think, I don't know, maybe because of my upbringing or because of the type of school I went. Oh, I don't know what it is. A man or a woman, if I see you, you're looking good, I'll tell you, you're looking so sharp. Totally love your shoes. You look so radiant today. I like your hair. It's beautifully styled. It doesn't take away from anything. You look good, you look good. It's a statement of fact, and I have no problem sharing that with you. So I also think that one of the reasons why your friends might think that you're a hater is because you never give compliments. And it might not be intentional. It might even be that you don't even rate that friend. So it's not that they never look nice. It's just that maybe the things that they wear that you think, or how they look. And I don't want you guys to see compliments as superficial things just by outward appearance. Even like, oh, I love the way you handle that, that talk today. Or I like the way you responded to that person. Or I like the perspective you actually gave me. You gave me a different perspective. Or just compliments, just telling, come on, just giving good and nice compliments can, it opens up a compliment. See, I went to city center one time randomly on my way. I didn't even wear makeup that day. I had my hair in a bun, and a man walked up to me and he was like, you are so beautiful. And he did not say it from a lustful place. He just said it like, and throughout that day, my face was like this. Like, a compliment can literally change your day. Someone can just tell you, wow, you are so confident. I really, I admire how confident you are. It can literally make you feel 10 times better than you do. So obviously, you know how you feel when people tell you nice things. So also, why can't you extend that leaf and tell your friends good things about them? So that's the first thing. You never give compliments. So please be reminded and seek out ways to give compliments. Even if your friend is not a fashionista, or your friend does not even, maybe their perfume, maybe their style of parenting, maybe how kind they are, how patient they are with people. I really love how patient you are, Buki. I like the way you handle it. I like how you are not so reactive. It's a compliment. You dig? So that's the first thing. The second thing, which I think is adjacent to the first thing, is you give backhanded compliments. For those that don't know what a backhanded compliment is, I did one story one time on my story that was the most, well, what are the examples of backhanded compliments that people have given you? And there were a plethora. It was so funny. I can't, there's so many, but I'll tell you the ones that I remember off the top of my head. Wow, you have so many shoes and bags. Wow, I really wish I had bags and shoes like this, but I use all my money to buy stocks and bonds. Such a backhanded compliment. Or another one is like, oh wow, your apartment is so beautiful. Wow, such a throwback from me. Reminds me of where I used to live. Such a backhanded compliment. You know, those are examples of backhanded compliment. Or when someone tells you, you're looking fine today. Oh. Am I? Or they tell you, wow, oh, you're strangely looking very good. What does that mean, guys? What does that mean? Please, those are examples of backhanded compliments. Sometimes, if your friends are anything like me, I'll tell you on the spot. Say something they worry you like that. I'll tell you on the spot, like, what kind of compliment is that? If you're going to say I'm looking fine, say I'm looking fine. If you're not going to say I'm not looking fine, keep your mouth shut. You see what I mean? But I feel like, sometimes people may not be able to find the humor in it like I would do. They might take offense and they might be like, what, this person never says anything nice to me. And when they finally do, they just they find a way to make it into a backhanded compliment. So that's another way in which you can come off as a hater. Another thing that I would say might make you come off as a hater is that when people are appreciating your friend, you make it a call of duty to remind them of your friend's flaws. So let me give you an example. You guys all go out that night and someone tells your friends that, or maybe, oh my god, maybe Shade, wow, you're looking so gorgeous, look at your belly, everything is flat. And maybe everybody there is just admiring the person, for instance. And I'm saying these examples because I think these are things that can be easily relatable to women like me or younger girls. And you are the only one out of everybody that not be like, Shade wasted chop cake this morning. Who asked you? Who asked you? Can't you just allow your friend receive the, what they call it now, the glory for that moment? And in hindsight, it might not even be, the funny thing is, it might be a jab, it might not be malicious, but I've found that when you throw jabs at people, this is a personal learning curve for me. When you find yourself throwing jabs at people, it actually comes from a place of almost a projection, almost that you're projecting, which we'll come to later on in this video. When you throw jabs like, see your belly, see your head, see your, it's unnecessary. And I'm telling me, I keep it real on my channel. So these are things that I know that even me, I've seen in my own personal life. Are there ways that I do these things subconsciously? As I said, they might not be malicious, but makes you come off as a hater to your friends. So as I said, giving backhanded compliments, not giving compliments at all, and also trying to remind people of your friends' flaws when they are in a position where they are being on the spotlight. Another example for the spotlight one is maybe I would say, this is funny. Or maybe your friend is maybe say in a place where they're being appreciated, maybe they're speaking publicly, or they're giving a presentation and they're speaking very well, very nicely, and maybe after the presentation people are like, oh my god, you're so articulate, everything, and you're being like, this one that is from Lagos Island, this one that is from Eko Akete, or you just talking crap, like. And as I said, it's not malicious. You just don't have self-control in that area. These are things that all of us probably think about. We throw jabs at our friends like, even me, I say to myself that, they go think, because I speak a lot of pidgin, people will be like, they would think that me, I can speak English very well now, but they don't know that now God, they help us. Just banter. But sometimes, if you say this to your friends, that maybe, it's so easy to throw jabs at our friends and think that there's no big deal. But in hindsight, it might actually leave a bitter taste in their mouths. So these are things that I want you to be a little bit more careful and sensitive about. So that's another point, throwing unnecessary jabs and taking away from their glory. Another point I would say, is, which slightly relates to this, is the not finding thrill in their achievements, or not undermining their achievements. I think that's a better way to put it. Undermining their personal achievements. So when a friend tells you, let me see something I can use. Oh my god, let me say your name is Becky now. Becky, I'm so excited, I just bought a new bike. And you're like, oh, for what? I'm like, oh, I'm learning to ride a bike. I just learned how to ride a bike like 2 weeks ago, and I'm so excited, I want to improve it. And instead of you opening your mouth to say, oh, well done, girl, I'm always pro, learning new skills and stuff like that. Or even me too, I want to learn how to maybe ride, maybe say a quad bike or something else. You now go, you don't know how to ride a bicycle at your agbalagba age. Me, I've been riding a bike since I was 2. That was all my grandfather bought for me when I was... Now that these things, I'm sure a handful of us are guilty of these things. But when you hear somebody regurgitating it back to you, then you see the weight of the things that we do. But when you say it in your own subconscious, because there's no malicious intent behind, that's why I said the ways you come off as a hater, we actually don't see the weight of these things. But probably hearing me say it now, you might be like, it's actually true. You're undermining their achievements. When someone tells you something good happens to them, you're very you're not excited, you don't show appreciation. You just water down something that excites your friend. That's a way that you might come off as a hater. Another thing that I would say is also looking for negativity in good. And I think this is a personality default. Yeah, I think it's a personality issue in the sense of maybe you see life from a skeptical point of view, and another, maybe I'm an optimist and you're a skeptist. Yeah, I think that's the word. You're very you're pessimistic. You're pessimistic. Lol. Let me say I'm an optimist and you're pessimistic, for instance. Obviously, when I'm sharing, maybe exciting information, you might be seeing things just negatively. There's nothing that I can say that might excite me. You glorify the risk instead of the opportunity. So when a friend tells you they want to start a new business, or let me say an importation of clothes or something, and you're like, instead of say, oh, that's really good, I appreciate the fact that you're actually even in this economy, you're willing to try test new waters. Instead, you begin, customs people. Don't put your money there. Or customs people, they're a pain in the neck. They're this. You start telling them about legitimate experiences. But I don't think that's a wise way to relay that information. The person will be totally discouraged if it's someone that puts you in a high esteem. Will totally be discouraged about whatever idea that they shared with you because of your pessimistic approach towards life. So these are ways in which that when you give opinions, it might make you come off as a hater, even if it's not your intention. And even relate to even relationships. So for example, a third party or a third friend tells you, oh my God, Tosin, and let me just relate this on with a fourth point so that it's more cohesive. A fourth point is you project your own personal insecurities on them. Now, for example, which I said I was going to talk about earlier in the video. Let's say you have a cheating spouse, and I want to use that because it's very prevalent in this generation. Or you have a cheating boyfriend, or a boyfriend that lacks commitment, or you're not just in a relationship where you're really, really extremely happy. And you hear that somebody is getting married or finds their soulmates, and you'll be like, congratulations, that's very good. I hope he's not cheating, Sha. Somebody you don't know them from Adam, you don't even know them enough to come to that conclusion. But because of the insecurities in your own life or the problem areas in your own life, you project it, you're pessimistic over that matter, and you begin to say things like, you should propose to her on time. What's one that they're doing love on Instagram? Yeah, I'm telling you from my own experience. So they post man. Don't get me posting man that he has not committed to is what they call, what do you guys call, it's breakfast that will end it. What you're doing is that you're projecting your own insecurities. So what happens if the person was there? They will not be happy. You're speaking about their partner in such a way that it makes them seem like they are not serious or they made a bad choice. That's another way in which you actually might come off as a hater. When say, oh, you're just hating, literally that's what it means. You're just hating. That's what it means, for no just cause. That's another way in which your friends might think that you're a hater. Last but not the least is the one that I would say that is slightly related to when you undermine their achievements, is when you are on ghost mode to everything that they do and you call yourself a friend. They literally have to message you to help you repost. Let's say you do social media. They literally have to message you, for them to, maybe for you to help them promote their businesses. They literally have to text you to remind you it's their birthday. They have to say that, Tosin, you did not even tell me congratulations and I got a good job. And you'll be like, I'm so sorry, you're so busy. As I said, it might not be malicious. It might not be that you're a witch. You're just not a great friend, and that's just the truth. So even if in your heart your intentions are pure, your actions do not come off like you're a great friend. So that's why they'll think that you're a hater. How can your friend, through the seasons of life, secondary school, university, they decide to get married, they have babies, they get jobs, they start businesses, they decide to pivot into a completely new field, they're relocating for whatever reason, and not a word of encouragement, admonishment naturally comes from you. They literally need to remind you that how about Tosin, you do not even, yesterday was my birthday. I saw you watched the stories, but you did not even say happy birthday. And you're not like, I'm so sorry, Jare, happy birthday. Because you're not a witch in hindsight. It's just that your actions come off like as if you don't mean well. So definitely the person will consider you a hater, as if the person decides to internalize the thoughts, which I'm going to round this up with this video on how to deal with people like that. If the person desires truly to internalize those thoughts, there's no how you definitely not come off as a hater. So perhaps you've been watching this video, and even if I told you from the beginning that you should not put any friend into the box of the hater, just to self-reflect, you're human. You probably have imagined, this is exactly the same way this person behaves. This is exactly how Tolani behaves, For example, this is how to deal with such people. Communicate with them. Half the time, I've noticed that a lot of bad habits, people don't realize they do them. People don't realize they do them. I realized something that I used to do recently, and it was my friend that called my attention to it, and I'll tell you. And she's like, I could be very inquisitive on the spot. So when you tell me something, maybe you say, maybe you tell me something about a business, and it's just the thing doesn't just make sense to me. A lot of people will be like, okay, that's fine. But I would engage you. I'll be like, I don't know. I don't understand. I'm struggling. What does that mean? What do you mean by this thing causes this? Can you explain? Like, show me. What does it mean? Because I want to know. I don't want to be assumptuous. And she told me that she noticed that I do that a lot. And I'm like, it's because I don't want to go home. And in my heart, I'll be like, this girl, they lie. Or I'll be like, this is just talking rubbish or talking bollocks. Or how can you believe that? Maybe someone tells you that maybe if you drink water now, water will give you cancer. And you believe. If you tell me that kind of thing, I won't just say, okay, it's possible. I will say, what does expatiate? Like, substantiate, which is, I think I said one of my lessons or maybe 2 years ago. When people just come and complain about people to me or tell me that, oh, this person said that. I don't take it hook, line, and sinker. I will ask you, okay, this person is proud. What did they do that made you think that they were proud? This is something that I actually realized that I do. And I won't call it a problem area, but it just makes me more mindful of the type of, because some people are not comfortable being drilled. Do you understand? Some people don't want you to ask them, okay, explain how, why, where. And it's not that they're right or I'm wrong or vice versa. It's just that they might not just be comfortable. And I don't want anybody to feel uncomfortable around you. So that's a feedback that I took on board and I ran with it. So I'm a little bit more cautious when people tell me things. Is that I just keep mute now, or I tell them, but in a more, not in an investigative manner, in a more like, interesting, okay, but I don't get though, Anyway, moving on. So the first thing is, most people don't realize the things that they do. So you want to call your friends' attention. I'll be like, anytime we go out together, you just size me up to down. You never even tell me, I like your shoe, I like your dress. Is it that I always look ugly? You can even find humor in it. So I'll say that's the first way, calling their attention to it. And hopefully your friend, if the person is a good friend or has a good heart, regardless of their actions, they are able to say, oh, that's not my intention. I'm learning, I will do better. I didn't really grow up in an expressive home. I don't know how to say thank you. I don't know how to hug people and all those things. And they will be more open about it. Secondly, I would say is also sometimes making excuses for them. I know this is unpopular school of thoughts, but making excuses for them that I know that this person doesn't mean evil. I know that this person not checking up on me does not mean that they are terrible people. It's just a bad habit they have. But I have taken the position that I love, as long as it's not being detrimental to my own mental wellness and well-being, I will keep checking up on them. Hopefully they get the memo if I'm unable to communicate it with them with words. So sometimes making excuses for them, because you know that Yoruba will say one fish shaker. You're not doing it to be evil. They don't need to be malicious. It's just an unfortunate oversight that impacts relationship. But you're willing to, I don't want to say make excuses for them, but you're willing to be a little bit softer. The Bible calls it long suffering. You'll be able to persevere more until hopefully they come around. As I said, as long as it doesn't impact your own wellness, your own well-being, you don't feel like you're drained, you are able to. So sometimes when we know better, it's not for us to lord it over people. It's to show people a better way of doing things. Do you understand? So that's another way I would say, to deal with that. Obviously, the third way I would say is just to be discerning. Sometimes these things that I've mentioned is because they are haters. is not because they come off. Some of them are truly people that we should have no business being around. But for the sake of sentiment, you live in the same area, your husbands are friends, your wives are friends, you grew up together, you went to school together, they've done some good for you in some part of some time, you feel the need to always, like leech, just carry them along. But really, they don't mean well for you. And these signs that you're seeing, if you're discerning by the power of the Holy Spirit, you'll be able to see that, this person, I need to avoid this person, or evangelize to them. Not be a friend to them, but find a way to coexist with them in such a way that their actions don't impact me. Last but not the least, obviously, is to prayerfully handle things. You pray about everything. God cares about our friendships. God cares about the way we feel, our emotions. He put them there. He wants us to, subject them to the word of God, to the leadership of the Holy Spirit. So it's okay to actually pray about it. Say, God, you know what? I want to approach my friend Destiny tomorrow. The way I don't like the way she behaves. She's always taking unnecessary jabs at me. She makes me feel less of myself. God, help me so that when I go and speak with her tomorrow, the right words will come out of my mouth. It doesn't turn into a fight. I don't get too defensive in case I don't get the response that I desire. I don't suddenly think she's a witch because she did not give me the response that I need. Maybe she just has her own personal developmental areas. It has nothing to do with me. Irrespective of the person, she will still say those things. Help me for better delivery. So those are ways I think you can handle situations like that. And if you are watching, and as I was talking, you're like, everything that Tosin says, I do. I say Tosin, God, they call me my church. Everything that this Tosin girl is saying, I do everything. It's okay. It happens to the best of us. Just ask God for forgiveness, And anytime an opportunity comes, change. You can change your life. If you find out that you're a gloomy person, you can suddenly become a more cheerful person. You can change your life. You're not a tree, as I always say. You can change your life. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was exciting. I hope it was interesting. I totally enjoyed filming this video. Please leave a comment. As you're watching this video, share, just carry your phone, share on Instagram any point that was, very, very significant to you. Please share, tag me on Instagram. I'll put my handles on the screen at Lynn Jaffet, and I'll be waiting and eager to hear from you. I love you guys. Until next time, stay blessed. Bye-bye.